Okay, welcome to True Blue Politics podcast. Anita and I are just hopping on a call just to have a reaction response to this horrific news coming out of Minneapolis, Minnesota about they're saying a 37-year-old woman
37-year-old
who,
white woman.
yeah, yep, 37-year-old woman.
She
We don't
was
know the identity yet. However, she was apparently acting as a bystander to ICE activity. And she was
observer.
leaving. Yeah, she was observing. The ICE agents approached her vehicle. She started to pull away from them, and one of the ICE officers fatally shot her in the head as she was trying to drive away.
He shot about 4 times.
Yes, that is, yeah, that's what
And
eyewitnesses are saying.
what what it seems to me is she was told to get out of here,
Hmm.
and she did a little like like you're trying to get out of snow or something because it was in the snow.
Well,
And
it was very little ice. Yeah, the snow, the streets were clear. There was very, very little snow. And let me tell you, to a Minnesotan, to a Chicagoan, that's like next to no snow. And
right.
she was just trying to pull away.
She
The
was trying
snow
to pull
had was
away.
nothing to do
Well,
with it.
she was
Yeah.
trying to pull away, and
Hmm.
he actually, somebody said he shot her from the front of the vehicle, but from what I could tell, it was the side, the window, um,
Yeah.
where she was, the driver's side,
Yes.
where she was driving. I don't think there was anybody else in the car, but apparently she's married because her husband met them at the hospital, and there was a doctor on scene and like a paramedic who tried to treat
Hmm.
her and was not
Hmm.
allowed to. They wouldn't allow him to approach her.
Mm.
Now after she was shot, like you could hear them firing like 4 or 5 times, and she like accelerates a little bit after she's shot, and then just plows into the telephone pole and some other vehicles.
Yeah,
It's
she
just
accelerated because she was shot in the
she was
head.
shot.
Right.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
shot. So her foot
Right.
apparently was just like. But anyway, so some woman described it as they pulled her out like a sack of potatoes, and I mean
Mm.
people were very upset.
Yeah.
The
There were
bystanders, people,
eyewitnesses that saw the whole thing.
and it was on video, and yet you've got Homeland Security Secretary
Christy
Christy
Nome.
Nome, yeah, who
Hmm.
was out there calling her a domestic terrorist, and that she was trying to ram her car into the ICE agents, which is such bullshit. And it's
Well,
the police chief of Minneapolis has already called that out. That
yes.
his name is O'Hara, and I forget his
Yeah.
first name, but he called it out. He goes, "No, that's not true." Even the mayor was saying they're trying to spin this already. This is happening, and it's not like they don't have a track record of doing this
Yeah.
shit where they
This has
try to.
happened. It happened here in Chicago.
It happened in
They
Texas
they sh
also. Yeah.
Yep, they shot a woman here. They shot and killed Franklin Park man here.
Well,
Father picking up his kids.
there was an influencer, apparently a TikTok influencer that was shot, and they tried to say that he tried to ram into them. And then when it went to court, they dismissed the charges against him because they looked at the videotape and it was all bullshit. Same thing happened here in Texas, where they tried to say somebody tried to ram into them and it was bullshit. Now, this is the first time I know of, I don't think it's happened where they've actually killed somebody, but uh, I mean, it's going to happen again. This is not going to be the
Mm-hmm.
last time. I'm surprised it hasn't happened before. These guys are untrained. They're
Hmm.
they're high on power because they're a
Yep,
bunch of fucking losers. Who knows? They're
they're
like
emboldened.
Proud Boys or something. They're
Hmm.
military police rejects, and they're out there like what's his name that killed that um kid in Florida. Um
Yeah.
um
Ferguson.
no, not in Ferguson. That was Michael
Not for
Brown.
no, 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 no. I know. I know. I'm. Oh, what's his name? He
No,
was
this was in
Trayvon. It
Florida.
was Trey. Yeah, I know
Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon.
Trayvon Martin, the guy
Right.
that what was his name that killed him? I don't even remember his name now.
Zimmerman.
Zimmerman, George Zimmerman. They're all George Zimmermans, okay?
Yes.
And
Exactly.
they're trigger happy. They've pointed guns at people out in the streets. into their
Hmm.
cars.
Well,
This
and
was,
apparently in this situation too, there was a doctor that ran over to try and
I already said that.
give
Yeah.
aid. Yeah,
Yeah, I said
and they
that.
pulled a
Yeah.
gun on him. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they tried to, yeah, they held him back with a gun. I'm glad you mentioned that because they did
Hmm.
point guns at
With
him.
a gun. Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, this is was inevitable. These people, they act like they're out there like playing commando, and you know, eventually, because these guys don't have any fucking training. If they
No,
do,
and
it's
here, this is, I just did find this short. Let me just play it really quick. This was the mayor.
okay. Play
Um,
that part where he tells, yeah, this is what
This
the
moment.
Mayor
Since
Fry
the
had to say.
early stages of this ICE presence in Minneapolis, not only is this a concern that we've had internally, we've been talking about it. They are not here to cause safety in this city. What they are doing is not to provide safety in America. What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust. They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets. And in this case, quite literally killing people. So they are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying, getting killed. And I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead.
You know, there Christy Nome was out there calling her domestic terrorists, okay, for
hmm.
protesting. Oh,
Yeah.
and you know, we know that's what they think. Anybody that protests against them is a domestic terrorist. We're all anti
And
Antifa, right? And
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and, go ahead.
Mhm. No,
But
I
then,
was going to say, I was listening to Michelangelo Signorelli, and this caller called in and was trying to make these comparisons to Ashley Babbitt. And it's like
oh my
that,
God,
right. So it's like, this is, of course, the way they're going to try and spin this shit. And we have to be ready for this because that is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to try and spin this stuff and do the compare and whatever. But this is the difference. And let's just be very clear about the difference here. Ashley Babbitt broke into the Capitol with 1,500, over 1,500 other
no.
people. She was climbing through a broken window to get into the halls of Congress where there were members of Congress. Okay, that is a distinct difference to what happened today.
Well, the other difference is the person that shot Ashley Babbitt actually told her a number of times to get back,
Yeah.
to stop. And that the person that shot Ashley Babbitt was protecting the people in the house on the House floor. And she probably kept them from, because if she would have got in, there was a whole mob behind her carrying all kinds of weapons, beating up everybody, threatening to hang Mike Pence and kill Nancy Pelosi. So he probably saved lives. This guy just shot this woman in cold blood, not to protect anybody.
No, he wasn't in danger. There was no danger that he was in. There was nobody else in danger. She was driving away. They told her to move her vehicle and she was pulling away she was trying to move her vehicle, get out of the way.
If you want, you can watch the video. I mean, it's pretty obvious. And he said that he watched it. The mayor watched it. The police chief watched it. I mean, they have a history of lying about these incidents and ramming
Yeah.
into and trying and using violence
Yes.
and the threats of violence. And that's what they're trying to do. Everywhere they go, they create chaos. Now, the governor has is bringing in the National Guard, the Minnesota National Guard, to because there's people are extremely obviously, I mean, they have justifiably, they are very upset, and there's all kinds of protests going on. We've been through this, like with George Floyd, and he's
Hmm.
already called in the National Guard. And people need to understand the National Guard, like he said, works for Minnesota, okay, for the people
Right.
of Minnesota to protect
Yes.
them.
I really appreciated him saying that because that is what needs to be said to people that are coming out. Come out, peacefully protest, but understand this: the local law enforcement, and because this is something that we have been seeing here in Illinois too, with people coming out and protesting and getting into, kind of push, standoffs with the local and state police and misunderstanding the reason that they are there. They are there to keep the people safe, the people who are exercising their First Amendment rights safe. And they're not there to assist ICE in these situations. They are there to keep people safe. So it is our civic obligation to act responsibly, protest peacefully,
Well,
because like
they
Tim Wall said, like Tim Wall said, if you don't do that, we are potentially giving him what he wants to create, because all he wants is to implement martial law.
well,
And that
what
will
they're
disproportionately
out
impact
there,
the people
right?
that they say that they are there to be allies to and to protect, help protect.
They What they're trying to prevent is stuff like this happening, where this woman got killed.
That's right.
So, I mean, remember that they are not your enemy. The people that are that are out there trying to hurt us and create chaos, and like you said, give them an excuse to issue martial law or the Insurrection Act or whatever.
Hmm.
Those are, I hate to say it, they're our enemies.
They are. The federal government is now our enemy. They're a rogue nation internationally, and they are the terror organization that we all have to be concerned with now in our neighborhoods, in your neighborhood, in my neighborhood. They're here and they're terrorizing our neighbors, our friends and neighbors, and therefore us.
Yeah, and they're exporting it everywhere, like in Venezuela, because right now there's all chaos. There's chaos over there with the militias running around.
Good
So
God.
I know
Yeah.
it's crazy. This is a really remember, may you live in interesting times,
Yeah. And
but these are too interesting for my liking.
yeah,
But
this is too much. Too much. And so of
so
course
what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I mean, all we, what are we gonna do about this?
well, all we can do is continue to show up and continue to, um peacefully assemble, document, film, save everything, because the day is going to come when all of the footage, all of the photographs, all of the documentation that we are doing out in the streets, they are going to be useful in all of the investigations, the hearings, and the indictments of these people that are breaking the law in
But
these
it's
abductions and
also
murders.
it's good to have them for right now, because like what happened here and what happened
Mm-hmm.
in Chicago, when they saw the videotape,
Mm-hmm.
they can't get away with saying, "Oh, we were just defending ourselves. She was trying to
That's
run
right.
into us." We
Exactly.
we have video evidence that that's a lie.
Exactly. So we have to keep doing what we're doing,
And
but like really emphasize the need for peaceful protest.
it's going to be hard because people are scared,
Of course.
and this makes some people even more scared, of course. But I
Hmm.
but you know, we just can't be intimidated, because
No,
that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to
they're
keep
trying.
us. They're trying to scare us from protesting,
Yeah.
and that's our right to protest.
Hmm.
And when we stop
Well,
protesting, I mean, then what happens?
right. Right. Well, and the good news is people didn't disperse because of what happened. They're
No, they did
actually
not.
gathering. They're
Yep.
gathering. And now
And,
it's a memorial site.
and did you see that guy get shot in the face with that pepper ball or one of those rubber
Yes.
bullets?
Yes.
We're
Yep.
out there
That's been,
for
yeah,
people.
that's been happening over a block from my house.
Well, this was right after they shot that woman.
Hmm. I know. No, I saw that. I saw that. And that's the same type of stuff that they're doing, the tactics that they're doing over here at the detention facility.
And I wonder if this woman has children. She's a 37-year-old married woman.
She's married. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, anyway, but on that note, we have to
Yeah,
keep talking about this stuff. We have to and giving the context and showing people the differences and encouraging people to keep doing what you're doing, but make sure that you are calculating the
safe.
risks and stay safe. And please be peaceful. So anyway,
Yes,
thanks
that's the
Anita
most
for
important
hopping
thing.
on. Yeah, thanks for hopping on.
Yes, I know it's a sad day, but
It is. And thank God for Minnesota, they've got Governor Walz because he
oh,
is
thank
he
God.
is amazing. What I mean, his press conference was absolutely incredible as well, and just so on point. And he's just thank God
I
that they've got good legislators up there.
I just want to say we have to also remember that what Homeland Security, what ICE is doing right now, they're not arresting the worst of the worst. Christine Nome went
Mm-mm.
on television and said, "Well, if you're here legally, meaning if you have a
Right.
work visa or anything else, or you're a citizen, you have nothing to worry about." And that is just
Hmm.
bullshit because this woman just got killed, first of all, and 32 people have died in ICE custody. I just want to mention that. Also, we know that's not true. They're saying there's 75% of the people that have been detained have no convictions, and I'm telling you right now, or no criminal record.
Hmm.
That 25%, honestly, those people, even the ones that they say have a criminal record, those are for things
Hmm.
like when you hear about that woman that wrote a check for $80 10 years
Right.
ago, or had a
Right.
marijuana charge 15 years ago. It's all
Right.
bullshit. They're not picking
Yeah.
up violent crimes, violent criminals. And I'll tell you how I know, because if they did, they'd be parading them around. They would
Absolutely.
be very loud and proud about it,
Yep.
just to prove that they're getting the worst of the worst. And not only that, but if they were the worst of the worst, you think they go with them peacefully? Are you kidding? Where are the
Mm-mm.
shootouts?
Right. Exactly right. Exactly right. Yep. All right. Well, thanks, Anita, for hopping on
Thanks,
with me.
Karen. Okay,
All
everybody
right.
stay safe, and I don't know what else to say. It's just really
I know.
tragic.
Very. All
All
right.
right.
Bye-bye,
Talk to you
everybody.
tomorrow. We'll talk to you tomorrow, actually. Or no,
Yep.
it comes out on
Yes,
Monday.
we will, yeah, we will record. We will record tomorrow and then our episode will drop on Monday. So
Yeah.
stay safe and strong, everybody. Bye.
Bye.